Well, thank you for joining me on Debbie's Back Porch again today. You know, I'm not a professionally trained chef. I'm an experienced home cook, probably like most of you. And after 50 plus years of cooking, I'm dealing with a little arthritis in my shoulders and in my hands. So a really, really good sharp knife that's not too heavy and has a good handle is very important to me. So when the Kuma Knife Company contacted me and asked me to review their 8-inch chef knife, and they promised no editorial control, I could tell you just exactly what I thought, I said, sure, let me give it a shot. So I thought the best thing was just let me do some cooking and I'll show you how it works. And you know, the timing on this could not have been better. I was just getting ready to chop up a whole bunch of veggies for Cornish pasties. So I have to say the shipping was quick. And here's the packaging. I'll let you see this. And it was wrapped up nicely in bubble wrap. No box, but that's okay. It's just the box is something else to throw away. And you know, that formed plastic is one of my many pet peeves, and this is not in that. I mean, don't you hate that? You have to get a pair of heavy-duty scissors to cut that stuff loose. I hate it. So I've got one little plastic wrap thing here. I'm going to chop that off. Not too bad. You know, arthritis hits you in strange ways. So here's the knife. It slides right out. And I'm going to tell you, it's not too heavy. That's important. You know, I just, sometimes you get a knife, you pick up a knife, and it's like picking up an electric iron. It's so heavy. This is lightweight. It has a good handle. Too big a handle, too heavy a handle is hard. So I'm going to start right in with these potatoes. And please, don't leave me a comment about my cutting style. I cut safely. I'm not in any hurry. As I said, I'm not a classically trained chef, but, you know, oh my, this is quite sharp. And I didn't sharpen it. You saw me. I just took it right out of the package. And it slices right through the potatoes without any trouble at all. Of course, you know, potatoes stick to your knife. And I'm cutting fairly large size chunks here. I'll cut something else smaller later. And I do this thing where I open my hand up to make sure I have no fingers or anything in the way, and I'll do the other kind of chop on something else, but I just want you to see this goes right through it. And I've got quite a few potatoes to cut for this project, so let me get to it. So let's try an onion next. Right down through it. And you know, I have to tell you, I keep my knives pretty sharp, and I use a lot of ceramic knives because they don't have to be sharpened. But I have one knife that I've had for probably 40 years that has been my favorite. I don't even know the brand, and I'm worried that it's getting so thin, it's been sharpened so much that it's going to break. And I have been looking for a replacement for that knife, and this may be it. We'll see. Let me chop a little bit more. Getting down to the end here, and yes, I do curl my fingers. You should always curl your fingers if you're holding the food. That way you won't cut your finger off. So this makes pretty quick work of this onion. And I give it a few chops right through the middle, just because I want it a little bit finer. So far, so good. Let's try something hard. This, my friends, is a slice of rutabaga. And if you've never cut a rutabaga, you may not know that if you have a really big one, you might want to get a saw. They're really hard and really dense. So I've cut this in slices. And I'm going to go through and make little slivers. And yes, It cuts right through it, straight out of the box. That's pretty impressive. And really, you know, I don't have to say that. I've got a free knife whether I say it or not. But see, you can chop that very finely, and that's what I'm wanting, is little slivers. And you can either do it rocking, or as I did before, the straight up and down. But you know, I have just found that with the arthritis, the rocking motion is much easier on my shoulders, even though that's not recommended. It's recommended if your shoulders hurt. Let's go on to the next thing. I'm going to try a carrot. To me, carrots are about the easiest thing. I slice it once down to make it thin, and then I'm using the regular chopping motion. I'm not rocking this because it's not hard. It's a carrot. But you can see that slides right through. You know, I've been looking for a replacement knife for a long time. I can't believe my luck. This is just really a good knife. Okay, final test. This is frozen meat. I'm making this for my pasty, and it's very thinly sliced, so I'm cutting it frozen. It's easier to cut frozen. And yes, I have to put a little pressure on it. It's frozen. But it cuts right through. And you know, see there? See? It's frozen. And that will come apart, and I'll put it in my pasty. Now this is my old knife, and this is the new Kuma. You can see they're very similar, and I've been looking for a replacement for a long time. The handle's a little different, but the size and the weight are very, very similar, and I feel really lucky to have found a replacement. In the $25 to $30 market, I don't think I've seen a better knife. And believe me, I'm a knife freak. I love kitchen knives. I have way too many. But I keep going back to my tried and true. And now, you know, I think I've found a replacement. And hey, if you want to try this knife, I'm not selling it, but there's a coupon for you to get it with a discount in the info section. Look at it. Check it out. I think you'll like it. I know I do.